We're live.
We are back.
We are back from the future. And
No, we're not back from the future.
no.
We're just
yeah,
back.
we are.
No.
We are back from the future. And guys, let me tell you, the Area 51 raid, it was fucking successful.
No, it's more like the Area 51 massacre. Several hundreds of thousands of people died. Sorry.
Nah, we got all the technology, dude. That's why
Blood.
we're back.
No.
Blood makes the grass grow.
And there ain't no grass out there right now, no.
Okay, guys, so we're back.
Sorry for the hiatus.
It's witty.
Sorry, I'm Fred.
I'm Dan.
That's Dan.
Fred's sorry.
Sorry for the 2-month hiatus. We can blame Witty on that one. But we are back to talk about whatever we want. It's just we talk about banter and some car stuff every once in a while. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Like we didn't just leave you guys on red for 2 months, but we did. So we're back.
We're a little rusty
A little rusty.
setting this up. Hey,
This
by the way,
took a lot longer to set up than normal. By normal, I mean it took really long.
What's your video framed on? Is it just you two?
Yeah.
Fuck. Because I have mine on YouTube.
Wait, what about you? Oh, shit.
Yeah, cut. All right, boys. It's been 2 months.
I miss you boys.
Miss you too, Dan, because you quit on us.
I didn't
So-
quit.
You did quit.
He resigned.
I don't think you're high enough in the company to officially say that you resigned from anything.
He quit.
Dan quit, and now Dan works for billionaires, so
That's true.
Dang.
that's accurate.
It's
But
very hard talking to billionaires.
I'm sure that's terrible.
It is. Anyways,
So how about this heat, boys?
it's fucking hot.
All right, that wasn't a joke. Yeah, seriously. Like yesterday, I was about to go to a car meet, so I went to go check the forecast, and it said 105 degrees. I was like, first of all, that hurts to read.
Nope.
And then it said feels like 131 degrees.
It's the damn humidity.
No, I know. It was 75% humidity or something like that when I saw that.
Well, yeah, when I walked out, it was like, it said 89 on the weather app, which, not bad. I walked outside. It was hard to breathe. It was worse. I think it was like 100 some degrees, 101 out in Denver. Or, whenever we got to New Mexico or whatever. And the dry heat, it's not bad. I'll take 100 degrees of dry heat any day over 89 and whatever the fuck humidity levels
Yeah,
were at.
89 in Nebraska is going to be terrible. People don't understand, like, oh, Nebraska, what's the... first of all, they think automatically if you say you live in Nebraska, you live on a farm. Second of all, they have no idea what the forecast is for this area. There's like...
No clue.
It's you grow corn, so it's good for growing corn, whatever.
Knee high by July.
Well, people don't even know where it's at. Whenever, we're in
The
a
dead
different
center of the
state.
country, just go...
Yeah.
Anyway, in Nebraska, it get like 131 yesterday, and then it'll get to like negative 30 in the wintertime. That's Nebraska.
Yeah.
For anybody that's curious, that's Nebraska.
Hell yeah, brother.
Stop.
And humid, and we have bugs, and we have...
Infected. I've
Yeah.
infected others as well. I've gotten this one kid. I was at a wedding. I think we talked about this on a podcast. I was at a wedding down in Texas for Andrew Boostin Photography. And I was saying, hell yeah, brother, a whole bunch. And I was saying, do it for Dale. Andrew was just talking to me the other day and told me that his buddy Kyle, to this day, obsessively says, hell yeah, brother, do it for Dale. And it's like, dude, his girl.
You should kill yourself.
Says the guy wearing a Cletus shirt.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness, Fred, you fucker. Jesus, it's not even the Cool America one. It's like his face on the
It's
back.
the Leroy one. It's got Leroy on the back.
Oh my goodness.
He gave it to me. Calm down. Shut up. Have you been like south on I-29 recently?
No.
Oh my goodness. It's bad.
How bad?
Like the flooding, it's like if you had not driven down I-29 before, like ever, you're like, oh wow, there's a lot of lakes off of I-29. No
the
joke.
whole way for like
Seriously?
how many miles?
As soon as like all the way, at least in Iowa, some of it in Missouri too, but the entire way down I-29 when
On
you're in
both
Iowa.
sides,
Yeah, it just like seriously, if you didn't know anybody, you'd be like, "Oh, Iowa has a lot of lakes right next to the highway."
Some of them I genuinely questioned if they were lakes or not.
Seriously?
They were
No, there isn't any.
How many
lakes,
times have we driven by there?
waves
Tons of
and
times.
shit.
No, it was
dude.
bad.
Like,
it was bad. And then there was
Whitecap.
There was like a big. It wasn't a combine. It was just a really big tractor, and it was out in like a field, like probably 200 yards off the interstate, and it was just sitting there with like water, like probably 2 feet up the tire, and it was just chilling. Like it can't go anywhere.
Damn.
It's stuck. It got stuck out there. At some point.
all the grain silos. Dog, all the grain silos
There was a lot. Yeah,
would fill up with moisture and then explode, and they're all just blown out at the bottom.
either the weight, like the added weight of the grain getting saturated, or maybe the grain expanded when it got wet. Just literally blew it like if you put a firecracker inside of a pop can.
Okay.
Like just like cracked open, and then all the grain's just coming out.
Damn.
Just like we're driving down the interstate and just seeing this shit.
Dude, look at this shit. You didn't get nothing? I got an S because my name is Scott. I was like, man, they're probably all S. I look over at yours. I feel so special now. Look at that shit. Guys, we're drinking some Virginia's root beer.
Everybody
Virgil's root beer.
welcomes Witty's ADD.
Yeah, Virgil's root beer. But look at this. I got an S. I mean,
Dude, maybe you won like $1 million.
We should start.
Yeah, I won $1
we
million.
should get back to talking about stuff we were talking about.
all right. So back to Fred. Yes, Virgil's, the finest of the root beers.
Are we getting paid to say that? Because I wouldn't say.
I
Nope.
am.
Just mute that part.
Yeah, no, we're not getting paid. No.
Anyways,
Yeah, but the flooding's still really bad.
Land O'Lakes.
But they are doing an event at the track this weekend.
Land O'Lakes, that's not even real butter, dude. I can't believe it's not butter. Damn it. It's like 40% fucking vegetable oil.
Okay, so they are doing an event at the track this weekend, though.
Really?
Yeah, it's no timing system, no wind light or anything, no boards. But
Dang.
yeah, like I think it might either be a
This
flashlight
honor
start
system?
or
This weekend?
yeah.
But remember, like, when we were walking around and all those buildings were, like, abandoned and, like, torn up? How was that? How's
Yeah,
that
so they can
safe?
still take money and have people drive down the drag strip.
Right.
Damn, when I was walking down the drag strip, dude, like the little shoulder that's this big, the asphalt that is right touching the drag strip,
Yeah.
was you know how like sinkholes, like how it falls away? That's how it was down the right side of the drag strip.
Well, dude, they're having an event there this weekend. I don't know what to tell you.
It's inside the wall. Like if the car goes off the groove and the rubber, there's literally holes. It's like
hope
the
you're a good
asphalt's
driver.
sinking away.
Support your local tracks.
Oh my God. And the road course still has water everywhere except for the actual asphalt. Like it looks
Jeez.
like a water course, but like the road runs through it.
Kearney also got flooded.
I saw that. Yeah, where were we? Streetcar Takeover Denver. We drove by Kearney. I saw it online and I was like, huh, weird. And then we drove by and it was like, dog, all the hotels, the restaurants, everything.
Really?
It was legit flooding. It looked pretty bad.
just right off the interstate there, yeah. But yeah, it was all flooded there.
It's been a shitty year for weather.
Yeah,
Like,
flooded, a
real
lot of
bad.
rain, a lot of flooding.
All the farming's been bad.
It's fucking hot,
But
humid.
people finally got stuff planted. And I was looking at Jay from Ignite, and he just got his 200 acres of hemp planted. And I think it was like 5 weeks ago. It's already 36 inches tall and looks healthy as fuck. It's got a way faster growing rate.
This is a really interesting podcast right now, boys. Talking about the grow rates of
Hemp.
yeah, we sound like straight up farmers right now. Who's coming with me September 20th to Area 51?
I'll go. It's my
Dog,
birthday.
I'm fucking want to go now, honestly.
Okay, the one guy that in the car, you're like, you guys
I
are
know.
dumb.
I
I'm not
know.
even going to say I'm going on Facebook because the government will put me on a list. This is this guy over here.
And all of a sudden
you want to go now.
Speed up Darwinism and everyone's a dumbass.
It's my birthday.
But then after Johnny was talking to me, and my friend Johnny is very enthusiastic about going.
Yeah.
He's taken off work. He's going. He's pumped. He's been wanting to go. All his friends are surprised he wasn't the one that created this group.
Does he have a will?
I don't know. He's not planning on going in there and like marching in with guns and killing everybody. He's planning on
Well,
going up.
I don't think it's
telling
a-
them they're not going to leave till they have answers or something.
I don't
At
think
least
it's a group or an event that they're just going to go in there and kill people.
not kill people, but it'll probably turn into like where they're stopped at the border. Because I mean, Area 51 itself, the base, right, that everyone's all like wanting to get to, is 24 miles roughly, I think, from those signs that
It's a
everyone's
buffer zone.
Yeah. So I mean, come on, like it doesn't even, if you guys all show up in like Mad Max vehicles and fucking bust it down the desert for like 100 miles an hour, it's still gonna take you a good 10 minutes or more. You'll be fucking blown away. That's not gonna happen. They're probably just gonna stop at the border.
Is that what you think?
The news stations will be there. Food trucks are gonna be there. Everyone's gonna have a great time.
There's gonna be,
it becomes a festival that comes back every year.
There's gonna be there's gonna be thousands of people there. That if there is anybody like. You want to get that? Or?
How many people signed up on Facebook right now? Was it?
I can check, but
I think it's 1.6 million people.
Yeah.
That's who say they're going, and then interested is over 2 million.
I thought it was 1.5.
No,
Is interested.
no.
People are all talk.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
what
like
I was thinking. I
I'm
thought no one was
thinking
gonna show.
people are actually gonna show up to this.
How many?
Thousands, but there
No,
will
like
be
how many,
there will
though?
be a handful of people that show up and aren't taking this like as a joke and they're serious.
Yeah.
They might try to. If those would be the people that get shot
The Kyles.
Yeah, the dumbasses that show up and they think that we're actually going to go, all of us, let's go. And only 2 people start running towards it and they get shot. So then it'll be like, that was dumb. This people died or whatever. Or everybody's going to be like, yeah, we're here. It's kind of like a joke thing. But seriously, if you could tell us if aliens are real, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, if not,
think
we're just going to.
You gonna
You
get,
get that?
Shut up.
Anyways.
I think it could be funny if it would like came back every year.
Yeah.
Oh, September 20th. We're gonna do it this year. And just thousands of people show up and just like you wear random like alien stuff. And
That'd be tight. Big old rave.
yeah, I'll go out there with a sign that says "Release
Skrillex
my
could
alien
come.
son."
Excision.
Like-
Go Desi could come. They could
free
do
my
that
free my homie alien.
alien laser dubstep show.
Free my alien. His name's Gray.
Dude, George from Lightwave could come out and do the lasers for the show.
Hell yeah, brother.
Fucking George, come out. Let's party with aliens, bro.
Anyway, yeah. Anybody that's actually serious
Anyway.
about going to Area 51, you're dumb.
yeah, I'm not going.
You're dumb.
Are we working that weekend?
I ain't trying to be Swiss cheese on my birthday.
Kyle said we could take off if we were going to go there.
No, he
Are you
didn't.
Yeah, he did.
serious?
He did.
Yeah. He said, if you guys are going to go, just got to take off.
Well, rest in peace, Woody.
Hold on. What mid's that weekend?
Uh,
Dog, like this is if okay.
You do realize you don't actually get to go to Area 51.
No.
You get
I
to go to
understand.
like
That's
the
not what it's
sign
about.
and that.
That's not what it's about. It's about okay. So 1.6 million people said they want to go, right? Let's say 5% show up. You're getting like 60, 70,000 people. That's a full fucking that's a full sporting event where the people. That right there is going to be history. That will literally go down in history. You know how many news outlets are going to cover this? They have the attention of the military, the president, all these news outlets around the country. I highly doubt anybody's going to actually go in. That's not what I'm saying. I think it's just going to be, it'll spark something, and something has got to come out of it.
I mean,
okay?
something.
Something will come out of it as far as
Whether
like, we're
it
going
be really minuscule or grand.
yeah, there's got to be something that's going to become of this.
It's one of the extremes. Or it's going to be something boring.
God, I was about to look something up on here. Totally fucking.
September 20th, what event?
Oh, yep, you're right. All right.
But, dude, you said it's 24 miles.
That's what I.
Okay, think about this. If you get to the gate,
'Kay.
you're on a straight road that goes directly, it's a beeline, and you're doing 60 miles an hour. It will take you literally 24 minutes to get to the actual base.
At 60 miles an
At 60
hour?
miles an hour. Nobody, just... I'm
he's
trying to
gonna
put this
make
in
it.
perspective.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's how fast I would go if I was doing a Mad Max.
All right then.
Jesus. Okay, so we have. You're going to take 24 minutes to get there.
Yes,
If you're going 60,
it's a long time.
nobody's getting anywhere close to that. Nobody's going to make it. Nobody's even going to make it further than a mile into the fucking place.
No.
You realize, like,
They have signs there. It says restricted area.
and for some reason, people are things like, oh, how many people could they possibly stop? It's like, well, they could all just like say, we're just not going to go into work today, and the base will be empty, and then they just blow up the base once you get to it. Oh,
Hey,
shit.
that's a good idea.
Well, you got to think about this. When was this event created? Months ahead of the actual event date.
You have to think about this as well.
No one's getting in there. I don't think anyone thinks
No.
they're getting in.
Okay, when people started,
We're off, by the way.
People started.
We're good to go.
Oh, sick.
No event. We're going to Area
When people
51.
started to figure out that Area 51 was a like alien place, like they can connect it with aliens. I'm sure the military. This is like 3 decades ago. Started moving all the alien shit out of there because they're like, oh, people know about it.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have it in where people know. There's probably like an Area 57 right now that we have no idea what it is or where it is. That's where all that cool shit went to.
I'm pretty sure there's different areas, and Area 51 is like the alien place.
Well, Fred, wasn't it according to like Bob Lazar that it was
S4 is where he worked.
Yeah. Well,
Who's Bob Lazar?
So Bob Lazar, he was a physicist that worked on some alien craft at S4, which is a site 15 miles south of Area 51. So it's still in...
It's in the zone.
Yeah, it's in the Area 51 zone, but it's not like it's not the base, whatever.
It's like a satellite base.
Yeah, but it's still within like the grounds or whatever. He worked there for a little while in his 20s, and he's the reason why we associate Area 51 with aliens, because he's the one that came out after he worked there, told a bunch of people about his story, and
how's he not dead?
That's what I was kind of curious about.
I guess he didn't release all of the information, but he used to work at this lab down in Albuquerque, I think it was, and he did nuclear science and nuclear physics and all that, and just like, their crazy stuff. And one day he got a job like offer or whatever it is for advanced propulsion. And I guess he said that they knew in the science community that most of the time things were pretty vague because a lot of it was really innovative and, could or could not be involved with national security, so they didn't know. So he goes out and he talks about taking the bus and, the famous plane, the flights into Area 51 and from Vegas or where.
Yeah, they're called the Janet flights from the McCarran terminal. The flights take off and then they disappear from radar.
What?
Yeah. If you work at Area 51, you don't drive into work. You drive to
the airport.
You drive to the McCarran Airport in Vegas, and then there's one flight that you basically, it's just like taking the bus, except you're on a flight. I think it's probably like a 10, 15-minute flight.
Okay.
You go up, and as soon as it gets to like certain altitude, it just disappears from radar.
It's a regular-ass plane?
Yeah, it's a passenger plane.
It's like white with a red stripe or something.
So how does that work?
It's just taking the employees to Area 51.
Well, I don't know. They just turn it off. I don't fucking know.
It's for the employees to get from...
Well, he's asking how it gets out of...
How's it disappear off radar?
I'm sure there's a jammer on it.
Interesting.
I don't know, but that's how it works.
They never wanted to admit like what it was, and that's why those flights were so famous, because Area 51 was never admitted to be even real, even though people could go up and look at it. Like, how it wasn't even 10 years ago, was it, that they admitted that they like full-blown came out and Area 51 exists? And then so... The Janet flights now are just kind of, everyone knows that that's just how they get there, but they're still like crazy because that was proof back when they wouldn't admit. It's like, where are those fucking planes going?
Really?
Yeah.
So what did Bob Lazar do? He said
So
propulsion.
Bob Lazar was, all they told him really when he got the job was it was for power and propulsion. So that's all he got to. So after working there and figuring out what the hell he's doing, so they were talking about it. They had 9 alien craft at this facility. And he was working on one of them, and his area of specialties in that one was supposed to be power propulsion. So they have this is all from the podcast that he did with Joe Rogan, him
I haven't seen it.
So you take a basketball, cut it in half.
Okay.
It's this dome, whatever. That was the reactor or whatever.
Power plant.
It created its own magnetic field, its own gravity, I guess. It with extreme amounts of power and all that good stuff. And his job and his lab mate's job was to figure out how it works and see if we can duplicate it. But he said he was there for 6 months.
Oh.
And in that 6 months they didn't figure anything out. So, and he said he has no idea how long they've had it. He said you don't ask questions at Area 51. Like his specific specialty was, or his specific field on this ship was power propulsion. There's other guys that were probably in weapons divisions and materials divisions to find out what this thing's made out of. But if you saw those guys, they don't talk. You don't say hi or how's the research going. You don't. It's just You and
Very
your lab
tight-lipped.
partner have this thing. Figure that out, and that's all you need to worry about. You don't ask questions.
Just reverse engineer it.
Yep. Reverse engineer something that doesn't exist.
That's fucking crazy.
That was his job for 6 months.
And
So, like-
he said someone died trying to get into the little reactor.
What?
Yeah, he said. So his lab partner, his name was Barry, and Barry had a different lab partner before Bob. And he said Barry had alluded to an accident happened where the other guy was trying to cut into or take apart the power source, and it blew up, and he died.
It's like a little box with its own gravitational field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but unlike like any other Area 51 alien guy that I've ever heard talk, this guy was legit talking like this is real stuff. It actually happened.
He did not sound crazy. Most of
Really?
them sound like they're in a basement talking about
Crazy
it.
people.
Tinfoil hats.
Crazy people
Yeah.
will be like very utterly specific to a T, and they'll be so eager to tell you their story. He didn't want to do this podcast. He didn't want to do the podcast with Joe because he's like, well, I'm just going to get more of a profile, and I already don't like the attention I'm getting. So he didn't even want to do it. They finally
But
got
you
him
can
on.
go check out his new special on Netflix that I'm sure he's
What?
making all sorts of money on. Yeah.
That wasn't that he didn't make it.
It's literally on him, and he said to go watch it. There's more. They go into more detail than he
There was
did during the
another
interview.
guy that was there on that podcast that made that.
But about
movie.
Bob Lazar?
It was about like Area 51 and all that stuff. So they interviewed Bob Lazar because he's the
Yeah.
biggest expert
And,
on it.
and he said that in his interviews in the show on Netflix, he's more detailed than he was with Joe Rogan, and said to go watch the movie.
I wonder how much like of our technology that we have is
based-
derived from off of that.
Oh,
That'd
dude,
be cool to
I'm
know
sure
which-
a lot, and I'm sure like it would be cool to know
Exactly what.
which parts of our technology is like
Computers.
I said
I'd be
this,
like, yep, that makes sense.
like something done like microwaves.
Right. Like, who the fuck was like, hey, let's make this internet thing and start off with wires so computers could talk to each other, and then let's put it in a phone. And
I don't
you
get
know,
how the picture comes up and how like just little chips can create a whole. Here's
here's the
literally
thi-
boggles my mind.
Here's the thing that like it's crazy to know from like listening to Bob Lazar. You haven't we listen to the podcast. You haven't.
No.
Go watch it. Go watch it on YouTube. Go watch it because like the way he talks and like his mannerisms, like there's not a soul, there's not a bone in this guy's body where I think he's lying.
really,
It's crazy.
to me, hearing about it, he's only worked there for 6 months. How much does he actually know, and how much of it?
Well, that's
is
the
true?
thing. He said he didn't. He said they don't. None of them really know anything, and he said none of them really know anything. Like they're the best analogy he gave when he was talking to Joe was if you take a motorcycle, like a new crotch rocket, whatever, and you put it in medieval times where they have buggies and shit. Okay,
Like
you drop it
carriages.
off there. You don't say anything. You leave the keys in the ignition. They're going to get curious. They're going to poke at it. They're going to hop on it. They're going to try to wheel it around. They might even figure out how to start it and maybe how to ride it. Okay.
That's a weird way to think
And
about it.
he said, you know, they have no idea. They might be able to figure out how to start it and how to drive it. But they might even become proficient in driving it. They will never know what the fuck's going on.
What the hell?
So that's how he described taking apart an alien craft was like. He was like, we could take it apart all we want. We have no idea how it works. And he actually talked about a demonstration where somebody was in it flying it. He saw
What?
it fly. He's like, we can fly it. We can.
Where did we get these things?
He said Barry, his lab partner, alluded one time to one of them was from an archaeological dig. So it's like thousands of years old.
What?
And then that was only one of them. The other ones he has no idea. Like he has no idea where they came from. Like I said, you weren't allowed to ask questions, is what he said. So
dude,
he can't go up to anybody and be like, hey, where'd this come from? They just look at him like, all right, go back in the lab and do what we told you to do.
dude, what if we're fucking aliens and we just don't know it?
I mean, we could be. Is there anybody here that does not believe aliens exist?
No, I believe they do. There's got to be some.
If you're sitting there at home and you're like, "There's no way they exist," I was like, if you just go look at like, what's that diagram where it shows like how big the Earth is compared to the sun?
Oh yeah, there's some video.
And then it just zooms out. It just
and then
keeps
the
zooming
galaxy,
out.
and then the universe.
We are
and then,
nothing.
like,
Our galaxy even is just a little tiny speck.
It's a little blip, and it's like, you really think there's like all this shit around us, all these stars and planets and moons?
that's like winning the lottery.
It's
at
like
$2 billion.
It's like, you think that's we're the only ones here?
No way in hell.
The only thing is just like knowing that we've been visited or something like that. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Well, to go back to that example. If you like dropped off a motorcycle, they're also saying like if you put a nuclear reactor, energy like that, just anything that you put back in the way of Victorian ages or whatever. It's still so much different to have the alien technology dropped here because all the motorcycle and nuclear and all that, it still operates off of our physics and our laws of gravity, our laws of just everything. It's
right.
Just so because the alien stuff, but it just
no.
does something we haven't thought of yet.
No, but it's like everything in our universe, our galaxy, or even just on our Earth. The things that everything's made out of, all of the just laws and just everything that science works off of, you cannot say that it's the same across all the universe because the reason things are how they are is because of the exact like chemicals in the atmosphere and the pressures and layers. But from the box they bring in the reactor, that's operating off a completely set of like. The reason we're never going to understand that is because there's just literally like there's nothing to even go off of. There's no understanding. The materials aren't here. Nothing is here, and it never will be. It's from a different world. If you dropped a motorcycle off, all those materials are on the Earth. They would have figured it out. They would have discovered it eventually. But like scientists trying to discover something that has elements and laws of whatever the fuck physics. I don't know the word is I'm looking for here, but there's something that operates on a completely different set of rules. It's like. That's why it's so crazy.
Okay, but I don't get maybe what stuff made out of, but your set of rules thing doesn't vibe with me because
physics those are completely different. Laws of gravity and everything are going to be totally different on every planet.
Yeah, but the alien stuff is doing on this planet what it was made to do everywhere else, which is float and fly. So your whole like the rules don't work. They are working here. We might not have those materials, but those materials work here just like they do, I'm sure, everywhere else.
But we just don't know how to make it.
Yeah, that's
like the gravity, the box that's creating its own gravity field that doesn't exist here.
I know, but you said, the laws of how everything operates. Well, they said it flies. They said somebody got in it and flies and it hovers. So it does the same thing here as it did everywhere else. It's just we don't understand how it works. And it will probably take hundreds or thousands of years before we can even fathom how something like that even works.
Well, I'm getting at it's like made out of different elements. Like they don't even have the same elements as we do.
That's possible.
So how are we supposed to discover it if we have nothing to even? There's nothing to even like go off. You can't be like, oh, that's that.
Well, they said that. I don't think he ever said what was made because that's not his area of expertise. Was what it's made out of.
He did say that. He said that there's another sector of guys that their whole job was to figure out what the materials were made out of.
Yeah, they said the ship is basically compartmentalized into. He was just power and propulsion. I'm sure there's a whole other section of like two or three guys of how it flies. Another 2 or 3 guys of how it's weaponized.
If it's weaponized.
And they just have to figure out all these different things. And he said the way they do it is very non-productive as far as science goes because it'll be like Whitty and I sit here and look at this, even if we're experts in fucking physics or whatever. Sit here and look at this is the power source of our spaceship right here. We have to figure out how that works. Once me and you, with all the knowledge we have, is burn up every idea we had on this. All we're gonna do is sit here and look at it for another 10 years until one of us dies or something, or one of us leaves, and then a new guy comes in. Okay, now we have new ideas. That's
like
all they're
fresh set of eyes.
Yeah, that's all they're doing though is they have 2 sets of eyes on one thing at any one time instead of like it putting like here's this reactor. Let's go to like the smartest people in physics in the world, bring all like 100 people together, figure this out. Instead, they just have two guys that they like. That's why it's never.
Also, they're saying how how they separated it so much. Say that's the power source. They don't have the spaceship, so they don't know how it even fits in there. Maybe the whole key they've been looking for is just, oh wow, see how it connects to that and how that runs to this part of the ship. Weird, but they'll never know because all they have is this box.
Nuts.
They said they got in the spaceship.
They had the spaceship.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they said they kept everything separate.
Oh.
That's what you just kept saying.
No, the spaceship is there. He was able to go out there just to see how it fits in it.
He could do that?
Were you listening to the same podcast?
Yeah. I mean, I fell asleep for like
He's
an
on
hour
a different planet.
I guess. But he also said there's so he has his one bay, and from like measurements or like guesses, it was 52 feet in diameter, like a disc. It's 52 feet. And then he said there was only one time he was out in the bay where all the doors, all the like sliding doors in between each bay were open. He said there was 9 spaceships there.
And they were all different.
What?
They all looked different on the outside. His was a disc that said it had like 3 layers on the inside, and he said it's very small. Like he said, maybe somebody half of his size.
Seriously?
Was in it? Yeah. He said he never saw any aliens or anything like that because all they have to do is you figure out how this works.
Jesus. Like how you guys said 2 people have to figure it out, and they might not even figure it out in their lifetime.
No.
Because they don't want other countries coming and stealing their secrets.
What if there was like first of all, you know how like the progression of like technology has like exploded within like a short amount of years?
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the time we've been on this
I
Earth?
think that's going to continue to happen, but it's just like because there's so many.
How long have we had these spaceships?
No, that's what we're saying because
is there a secret society that's like?
He said the one guy. He said his lab partner had alluded to one of them was found. So he said you can't ask any questions. So he couldn't ask where they got him from, but he said his lab partner Barry had alluded at one time that one of them was found in an archaeological dig. So this group of people are looking for fucking T-Rex. They found this piece of metal that's a disc. It's a fucking spaceship.
What the fuck?
And it's maybe hundreds or thousands, millions of years old. They don't know.
How's it kept quiet though? Like some dude's looking for a T-Rex and they stumble upon this fucking metal thing.
Probably kill him or pay him off.
They're probably dead somewhere.
Pay him enough or kill him, and they're not going to ever say anything.
I think if you pay somebody, they're still going to find a way to be able to tell at
on their
least
deathbed, they'll say something.
They'll say something.
Unless they have family and you can threaten them.
I think.
Yo, if you tell nobody.
I think those archaeologists are dead. I'm just going to be mean about it. I think they're dead.
It's like, what archaeologist? Sorry,
so
there's no archaeologist on record here.
So they have 9. Oh, and on top of this, so he came out. Like I said before, he was in his 20s when he was doing this, like 25, 26.
And all this information came out in the 80s?
Well, he started working there in like 87 or 88, and he worked there till 89. And then he said there's just all this crazy shit happening, and he had to tell somebody in case some shit went down. He had to make sure somebody knew.
He not dead?
He brought his buddies together, like 4 or 5 of his buddies. They're guys in their 20s. Brought them together, told them everything, and they're all looking at him like, dude, fucking Bob's crazy. Bob went crazy. And he's like, all right, you guys, I don't expect you to believe me. Just come with me. What? So before it was like 24 miles or whatever, it was a lot smaller. Like it wasn't 24 miles.
Right.
You could drive certain areas or whatever. And he said, well, we have this test flight scheduled on Wednesdays or whatever. He said, I know exactly where we can stand where we won't get caught, and you can watch this thing fly around. You can believe me then.
What?
So he said they went up there 2 or 3 different times. He said the third time they got in trouble because they took a fucking RV up there. They were grilling out, and like they finally fucking caught him because it's like that was dumb. Like you bring your buddies up there just to show them how these things, this spaceship goes and fucking flies around the sky, like and they like. The security comes up, find him or whatever, and then security releases him. He gets a phone call, and every time he'd go into work, it wasn't like an everyday thing. It was, you get a phone call that says, be at the airport in 45 minutes. And he said it was really sporadic. You'd get called once a week or 3 times a week. It's just sporadic. But he said he got a phone call, and Phone call said, "What have you done? You have no idea what we're going to do to you."
What?
Hung up, and that was the last he ever heard of him.
And then
He's
they
still
erased
alive.
his education records. They erased his work records.
His birth
His
certificate was
birth
gone.
certificate was erased. They basically just ghosted him. They're just like, this dude's life's over.
They literally ghosted this. They literally go, and he said anybody that he knew, any friends or anything like that, that has security clearance of any kind, it was pulled. Any of his friends, he said a lot of my friends, and a lot of his family have been audited by the IRS, like severely, like every year for a decade type of shit. Like
What the
he
fuck?
it's basically
Him and everyone he knows' lives are fucked.
basically he came out in '89 or whatever with all this stuff, and well, once you blow a whistle like that, like everybody's gonna be like, oh, well, they're gonna kill him.
Right.
Well, they didn't kill him because he was so high profile. He made himself so high profile at that point that now they can't kill him, so they're just gonna ruin everybody's life around him.
They could suicide him. Like
They haven't
Hillary.
yet. They haven't yet. So
What the fuck?
yeah. Anyway, happy times. If anybody's watching this podcast and you guys have not, if you don't watch Joe Rogan, he's the king of podcasts. You need to go watch
Yeah,
Joe
he's
Rogan
pretty
and
good.
Bob Lazar. It's like 5 point something or 6 point something million views. It is 2.5 hours long.
And it's really, really
And
good.
I could have listened to Bob talk
Yeah.
for 7, 8
He's
hours.
well spoken. He doesn't sound crazy. He sounds like he's talking from experience. It's like I've tried to shove my alien curiosities under the carpet because I used to be all into conspiracies and aliens and all that shit.
Yeah, for
But there's
fun.
no closure. You're not gonna ever figure
No.
anything out. So I decided to stop wasting my time. And then after I heard this dude, I mean, I'm not gonna
Sparked it.
start researching anything again, but it definitely was like, wow, that's pretty cool. It was just like sparked my interest again.
Yeah, and like literally hearing this guy talk, and you're like, he's not crazy, and he's saying all this stuff, and I'm sure he could go on for. I want to go watch that Netflix.
Yeah.
So the guy was there. Bob Lazar was there with another guy, and the other guy made a documentary on Area 51 aliens and all that, and Bob was part of it. Apparently, it's really detailed. I want to go watch that now, but anyway, go watch that if you haven't.
Well, and one of the things they were talking about, I think they were saying whoever controls, well, in the Bob Lazar podcast, they were saying whoever has the most technology, the best technology, they basically control the world.
I was gonna talk about that
Because technology kind of just goes across the board with everything. It goes across your economy, your military, your education, literally
Everything.
anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the more technology you have, the more powerful you can be, and the stronger you are.
Yeah, if you think about it, like maybe the reason we are the number one in the world on all this stuff is we just have this technology that we keep implementing little by little that makes us that much better than every other country. Also, if we figure out how any of that stuff works in any of those 9 craft, if we have one already, like no other country is going to even come close to us as far as anything. As far as like military might, as far as energy, as far as anything, they can't touch us.
True.
It would. So he said they had 9, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, is this like the only place that they found them? Because Russia's pretty big. They haven't found any there. Like
Germany apparently has got some.
yeah, like are they crash landing there, or they found them there, and they're also trying to decipher one of these things before we do?
In the UK, the base that I was stationed at in the 80s or 90s, I think it was the 80s, there was a spaceship crash, and 2 Air Force policemen went to the crash site, and there's like stories about them on like the History Channel and stuff, and they're talking about it, and like I think when they got there, the spaceship was in the ground or something, and then it just disappeared. Somebody took it. There's like recordings of like, I think they're radio traffic talking about like going to it and stuff. It's fucking nuts. So
It's
these
crazy.
things can't just land in the U.S.
No, there's no.
No,
way.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, if we have 9 of them, and Bob was at this
There's
base
gotta be
trying to,
more.
and there's all these. If there's a bunch of other ones that people are finding, like, how fast are they deciphering this technology? And also, if we have 9 of these things, why have they not let Elon Musk take a peek at one for like 4 seconds and tell us how it works?
Dog.
What if he was already doing that?
I feel like Elon Musk is the smartest individual on the planet, and
He's very nonchalant about it.
yeah, but I feel like he would look at it and be like, okay, yep. This is how they did it. That's a pretty lazy way of doing it, though. And then he would do it better and not even think about it.
So Elon Musk, you could say, is blowing you guys' mind a couple times.
Yeah.
SpaceX and Tesla and all that.
Yeah.
Well, he just blew my mind to the fucking planet those aliens are on, dog. You ever heard of Neuralink?
No.
Here we go.
Holy shit. Okay. This is real. Like this, they have everything built. They have got testing going. They're starting human testing in 2020. That's
Next
6
year?
months away.
Do you want to tell us what it is, or you just want to say the name of it?
Dog, oh, it's crazy. All right. So
Here we go.
the bait, like, I'll just lay it out. Like, okay. So they can now record they can record like your memories, your actions. They can record your talents. They can basically record your neuro pathways, like activity, right? So they put, and everything they've built has been built purpose for this. It's none of it's like, so when I say they're using needles, the needles are like fucking damn near microscopic. So they can go in,
What?
put a needle into your brain, and say you play the piano or something, or you're speaking Russian. They can record that. Okay? Now here's where it gets crazy.
I'm waiting.
They can now put that in to anyone else's brain.
Yo, so we're talking Matrix.
Instant
We're
fucking
talking
learning,
Matrix.
dog.
This is some like Black Mirror shit.
Dog, they
Dude,
have
this is-
microchips
So wait,
already ready.
So you're saying I could just be like, hey, Fred, you can learn, you know every language right now just because it's got injected in
Dog,
there?
I got the fucking goosebumps. Do I not have the goosebumps?
He's got the
do.
goosebumps.
Dude, they literally have fucking microchips already made, right? So they put them in, and then the microchip has like, I don't know how many, let's say 20 little tiny like microscopic wires coming out. And they already have the machine that takes these wires because humans can't do it. And they put you out, and the machine takes these little wires and puts them exactly where they need to be, and your like neurotransmitters and right the pathways.
This is real. This is happening.
This is fucking real. He did a 2-hour-long presentation on this shit, dog. They were talking, quote, we will have keyboard and joystick options available
do you
for
mean?
your avatars. So, like, you could just be sitting in
clone
a
yourself?
fucking chair. No, you just be sitting in your chair and you go control, your other body that you
What?
can put this. Or some of the things they were saying, dude, it was like, whoa, what happened? What happens if everyone has this in and then someone's like, boop, and now everyone's like, oh, they're dead, or fucking, oh, you're gonna buy this and this and this, and then we're really all in the. Also, already Bluetooth connectivity. There's already an app for the iPhone that you can go and update and download stuff to your brain
in the Apple
right away.
Store?
It is.
What's-
I don't know if it's on here right now. It might be.
So you're saying every human being will have the ability to.
Their phones are now
Do
in their
what?
heads.
Yeah.
Everything
Yo,
is.
I'm Bluetooth enabled, son.
Literally. That's one of the things. Like, yeah, it's Bluetooth enabled.
What the
Yeah, dog. And the way it was, you know what the most mind-blowing thing is? Well, there's two things. For one, that just the way they were presenting this. They were presenting this like it was the new iPhone. It was like
Right.
normal talk. And I'm just sitting here the whole time like, I watched the 18-minute special CNET put out on it. And it's Elon and some other guys
What?
talking about it. And dog, like, this is literally world changing.
You could
This
weaponize
is
it.
insane. You
Easy.
could do so many things with it. It's just mind blowing.
Dude, I just want to be able to play the piano.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play
Instruments
fucking
and
Mozart.
languages.
Okay, I want to be able to play the piano, sing, and speak any language.
You can sing.
I can't sing.
Hold on though. Why would you need to be able to sing? You're not going to make money off of it if anyone can download singing.
Just because I want to be able to sing, man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I can see the instruments
like-
because
just like-
it's just beautiful to be able to sit there and like
Well,
play
I
away.
I want to be able to play a piano just like if I see a random piano in a fucking bar, I want to be able to play it.
See, I would like that as well. And half me would like it because I would like the sound and playing the piano, but the other half would be because then I could be like, I'll just, I'll be real. I'd feel special. You go into the bar or you go wherever, you pick up the guitar, you're the guy that can play it. If you're able to go on your iPhone and pay $50 for fucking piano lessons and it just goes straight into your head, then you're not special anymore. They're going to be like, oh, there's that, like, what's that movie, Looper, where the guys can, like, telekinesis the quarter? At first, everyone's like, oh, my God, this is crazy. And then it's like, there's another one of those TK faggots. It's going to, oops, I can't say that. There's another one of those TK guys, you know, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, there's another one of those piano players. If we can probably downloaded 2.0 last week." Like the future is fucking here. Also, the other crazy part about this, it's Elon Musk.
Right.
Elon Musk, out of anyone on the earth, has taken the craziest ideas and made them real. Rockets that fly to space and then land themselves for a fucking 10% of the cost is normal that NASA did it at. And he's bringing electric cars all over the world, and it's actually successful.
I see him everywhere.
Dog, that's a crazy idea.
That's why I said he's
So like this could actually go into fruition.
So I said he's like the smartest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
Yo, would you guys sign up for
Yeah.
what, next year?
Yeah.
To do human testing? Yeah.
I don't know about
Dude,
human
that'd be
testing, but I'd
weird,
buy them
bro.
when they hit the market. And you know why?
Yeah, do you buy
Because
them? They
everyone's
cost like $100,000.
At that time,
Hey, what if you did human testing and
No.
you get to keep it?
I'm saying without looking
What
at
if
price.
you do human testing and it melts your brain?
Fuck it.
Yeah, but hold on. I'm looking at without price, without any of that. At that point, in 10, 20 years, right? Fuck it. They're doing human goddamn trials in 6 months, dog. So, I mean, in the next 5, 10 years, let's say this is going to be everywhere. I'll try it then because at that point, it's like my photo, my data, everything is everywhere anyways. Who really gives a shit? I may as well embrace the culture that has evolved into what it is and then actually like fucking have fun with it because you could be one of those miserable guys that's sitting there like, no robots, no electronics, blah, blah, blah. Like
You are
and
the
you're just
robot.
miserable. But yeah, if you come, well, I know things will evolve with that and it's just going to blow up from there. But I want to embrace it. We're here in this time. I want to fucking live it.
I think that's Elon Musk or somebody like that has already said, is like, we're already like cyborgs because like
We're attached to
we
this.
have our iWatches.
And now they-
our phones are on us at all times. And if we
true.
need anything, the only thing is right now we have an extra step of having to use our fingers on it. And if you just have to think about something and it Googles it, or
Yo.
let me just think about it in this group chat and go text you guys.
So you guys gotta
Shit,
You guys gotta
drunk
watch
texting
that.
would get out of control, bro.
Oh my
you get
God.
drunk text if you just broke up with your girl or something. You drunk text. Can you imagine one of your buddies like just broke up with his girl, or his girl just broke up with
and
him?
you don't even know he's
and
texting,
and
'cause
you
he's just
you
doing-
you and the boys go out drinking to cheer him up a little bit. He's off in the corners, like looks like he's just sitting there. No, he's in his head. He's texting his ex, be like, "Yeah, I want you
See,
back."
I don't know how it goes with like I don't know if you can like text. When I say Bluetooth connectivity, I mean that like you can connect your phone so that you can like use the app and
Yeah, I get
download
it. Yeah.
skills. But I'm sure, of course, it'll fucking
Eventually,
evolve,
yeah.
and maybe it does.
What if it
I only
doesn't text? Maybe you're just like, it's a cellular
it
call.
might
It's
do
in your
that.
head.
I
Could.
only watched the 18-minute review.
Dude, that's
And-
freaking nuts. What's it called?
It's called Neuralink.
Neuralink.
That sounds like it's out of a fucking movie from 2020.
And-
that's set in like 2084.
The craziest part is they've been doing it, and they said it's been working, and they've had tons of different renditions or versions of it, and they finally got it down to like one that's this big. And dog, they have like the machine.
Hang on.
and-
Real quick. I'm
all-
gonna bring it full circle real quick.
'Kay.
What if Elon Musk?
Is it an alien?
No. What if he is? What if he's the way that the U.S. is leaking alien technology? They do it through him, through his companies. So you think, oh, Elon Musk is just really smart, when really Neuralink is something that the aliens brought, and we just figured it out, but we have to be able to present it.
And their ships land because they have to get back to their place.
Boom.
And dog, electric because I mean, there's probably no fossil fuels.
Boom.
There's no
What if-
dinosaurs. Another
Boom.
holy shit.
What if this is Tom DeLonge's idea?
Okay, I was on board with Elon Musk.
No,
Shut up
get
about
outta
Tom
here.
DeLonge. Get out of
This is
here.
his idea.
Get outta here.
Let's use a smart guy. This is Tom DeLonge's idea.
Okay.
Because he in that podcast with Joe Rogan, he's like, it's coming out soon. Like, I have a plan to.
Yeah,
Tell
no,
the world.
I get it.
And this
no,
is
it's
his
not
way
going to
of
be
doing
that. Okay.
Hi guys,
It's
we're
something
here with
we do.
hypotheticals we do every time, Dan, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? Are we
end.
gonna stop doing it?
No.
No, we're not. Not till you guys tell us not to.
Exactly. And if you guys have one, put it in the comments below.
Put it there. We'll read it.
We do read all 5 comments.
Hell yeah,
I promise. So you got one?
I mean, hypothetical. I mean, okay, here's a hypothetical. That Neuralink, if Neuralink came out and they tested it all during 2020, the entire year, and they had a 95% success rate, Or shit, let's say 99.900, something like that. Maybe they're just like, this is crazy, but it's actually worked every time. Let's say that happens.
Right.
Would you do it in 2021? Would you get it in?
You have a 5% chance of what?
Let's just say there's a fucking 100% chance. Like, you're good. It's not going to, but I mean, obviously down the future, you never know. It could be hacked. As far as their software and everything, you're not going to die. It's not going to fry your brain. It's 100% safe.
Okay.
But they cannot give you the assurance that like somebody's going to hack it or a world government's going to take over an entire population and make them a slave working. I mean, your mind could go endless on that. Would you or would you not do it?
Would not do it.
Would not do it.
I like to be in control.
I mean, you would be in control until.
But there's that risk.
Yes, there is a risk. Yes, but you'd have like, and you could do anything you wanted. You could be good at everything. And then if there would be that separation of people that do and don't. So then you'd have the people that do, and once they hop on, they're going to be able to use their skills before the masses are all able to use them. You'll be able to capitalize financial gains, something.
But everybody would be rich then.
But we see how you're wavering on this. You'd have half the population that wouldn't do it. So
then what would money be then?
I don't know. But I don't know. I guess we're getting deep into this. But so you wouldn't do it, okay?
Probably not.
So Fred, would you do it?
Talking about you get the Neuralink thing.
Yeah. And
how many other people are getting it?
I'm saying they tested it all of 2020 and they had 100% success rate. They're like, hey guys, it's safe. It's not going to fry your brain. Like, you're good. But they say that. They're just like, all right, you're good, but you obviously have the risk of someone hacking it, or who knows what the possibilities are. You could go on for all night talking about the possibilities, but as far as the company, they said it's safe.
I would probably be, well, first of all, I probably couldn't afford it, first off.
Okay, well, just let's say it's free. You just get
if I could just download information to my brain instantly.
So you're down with Neuralink?
If you're not doing it, you're basically living in the Stone Age. It'd be like not having a cell phone or not having an email nowadays.
I'd do it.
I think after 5 or 10 years, if you don't do it, you'd be one of those people that doesn't have an email.
No Facebook.
That's how we would look at you, especially if everything was going fine with it.
If it went fine, then yeah, I would do it.
Okay, so what's your buffer?
How many
5
years?
5 years? 5 years, 10 years?
Technology changes really fast.
But Dan,
so within 5 years,
2 years,
2 years, you'd be able to see within 2 years whether it's weaponized or whether it fucks people up.
It's for sure going to be weaponized.
Well, duh, but like,
why do you think
I meant like
2 years?
commercially weaponized, like people hacking into it make you buy something type of shit.
I'm thinking that's. I mean, you were like, no way, I don't want to run risk. But like I said, I was going to have a 100% success rate. So if you're not ready for 100%. But then why then?
The 100% risk doesn't.
The act of terror hasn't happened though, and you're saying that it could at any point, so that it's still going to happen. You just start jumping in a little later.
Yeah.
Let him
so
do
you
his
can
thing.
still get hacked in it.
Just let him do it.
All right. Well, anyways, Fred.
My hypothetical.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Let's say you get $500,000. No questions asked, no taxes.
Okay.
Cash. Okay.
The person you hate the most in this world gets $1 million.
Who cares? I don't.
Only
care.
if they get the $1 million. Only if you take the $500,000.
They can have 20 million for all I care, man. I am not about that kind of like whatever in life. If I have $500,000, that's $500,000 more than I would have. I mean, if they're going to spend that $1 million on like ruining my life and killing my family or something, then, but that's obvious. Let's just say they're going to go do their own thing. Great. Maybe they get married, have kids, have a great house, happy, and they die happy in each other's arms. Like,
so
that's fine with me.
you're saying that's fine.
I'm not a vindictive person in that
I'll
sense.
do it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I would do it too, but I could see some people being like, some person hates somebody so much that there's no way
those
they
are
want
the
them to have
same
money.
people that are probably like against gay marriage. It's like if 2 gay people get married, who cares? It's like
Doesn't affect me.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me. Just like don't put that on me. Just like don't fucking the other scenario. Don't force that on me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me. I go live my life in my house and my thing, and then who cares?
Okay, I'll do another one since that one was quick.
Okay.
Since we all hang out on the same page there.
Okay.
Would you rather you have a time machine? You can only go back or forth once. Do you go back into like? Do you go back into like the frickin' Stone Ages, or like wait? You go back to do whatever you want. You can pick stocks. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Or you can go in the future, but you have to go like really far in the future. Like you can't be 10 years. I want to see what I'm like in 10 years.
Going back.
You have to go forward like a few thousand years.
Nope.
A few thousand years just to be like, this is how, like, just to see where technology is in like year 4,000.
I'm going back because then I'll be rich in the times with all of my friends and family and everything I know. I could go into the future and
You
the
can go
world
visit
could
your dad
literally.
when he was a baby.
Yeah, you could do whatever. But like going into the future, the world could. I mean, shit. If you go far enough, it could have. The sun could have ended, and the Earth could be nothing. It could be a desolate
That
planet. You could
would
go and you just
suck.
go and instantly die. There's no more atmosphere.
I think it would be cool to go into the future for the simple fact of just seeing how crazy
What
technology
if we had
is.
a nuclear war 10 years after and everything's gone?
No, then just
Literally
nothing
everything.
will be there. It's fine. I'm just like, I'm thinking of technology stuff. You're thinking of the world not even existing. But I could also see going in the past for the simple fact of, 2009, I'm going to get $100 worth of Bitcoin and then be a billionaire in 2018.
Yeah.
That is where I'd want to do it. But right now, it's kind of like, I know what happens right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what technology is coming in the next 30, 40, 50 years I'm going to be here. But I don't think it's going to get that much more crazy that I really need to be around for it. But it might. I mean, it could.
You never know.
That Neuralink thing could happen in 5 years.
Talk to somebody in the 20s. And tell them what happens now.
No,
Exactly.
You're
Or
not
like
wrong.
when did the first plane fly? That little wooden plane off a hill. Fucking
Right.
1905 some shit.
1903.
Guess what? They broke the speed of sound 40 years later, dog. The fucking speed of sound in a jet
Yeah, and like
engine plane.
66 years after we learned how to fly, a man got on the moon.
Does that not like so?
No,
then
it's crazy.
So then like, oh, our technology might not advance. Like, dog, give it 50 years, we will be in another.
It'd be compounded
insane.
by fucking 100.
Yeah, it's just like I would totally just go. I would literally go back like 10, 15 years and just bet on sports and do stock market stuff. Just like yeah, that's what I would do.
I'd do the same. I'd go back in time. I know all the mistakes I've made, not make them. Also, I would, capitalize financially, set myself up for the future because I know what that's going to be like already. So I know what's coming.
Wouldn't changing all your mistakes like completely change?
That would
the
change
world
your
around
life
you?
So
completely. I would say some mistakes.
you know everything already.
I would say some mistakes, some better.
If you go to the
better
future,
having.
you know nothing.
It's really hard when you
That's
go back in
accurate.
the past because like at what threshold are you gonna be like literally?
Yeah, I
just,
remember
like,
this.
breaking
It's like
space-time continuum.
it's like this sucked a lot. I'm not going to do that this time, and then the whole rest of your life's different.
Yeah, because
Yes.
like you didn't do that and you didn't meet that girl and you didn't get that car and you didn't fucking do whatever. Oh my god, dude!
Or you
Give-
could go to the future and not know nothing and be a complete retard to everybody else.
It's accurate too.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the future. I'm just saying like I don't know.
I don't know how much I
Going
would
back into
change
the-
going back. Honestly, I would just like if you have to go back
You're
and
talking
come
like thousands of years,
if
right?
if what going backwards?
No, forwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
backwards
So-
though. Maybe I could go back. Could I be like invisible and just watch?
I would do one thing. Okay, if
'Cause
you
then I
if
could-
you could go back and all you could do is one thing and then come back to this time.
Bitcoin
That's right there, dude.
because that's the
That's all I
quickest.
do.
It's the
I'm
quickest
gonna-
and easiest.
I'm gonna go to my 19-year-old self, be like, sell everything in your stocks and put it in Bitcoin. And it's like your mom's gonna be really mad at you,
And then in
but
20,
she can't do anything.
You're gonna be a fucking
2018.
billionaire though.
2017, sell it all when it peaks.
Yeah, sell it at 20,000.
Sell it all in December.
Sell it at 20,000, and then you then I would be making. I'd be
You'd
like
probably wanna start
I'd be
get-
worth like $80 billion, and then I'd be like, yeah, so I'm good.
You'd want to start getting out around 18,000 because you got to find the buyers and then people are going to be peaking. Once it peaks, everyone's going to want to be selling. You got to get in right before. I mean, this is obviously a little deeper than where you're trying to go, but you'd want to get in before the peak hits because
Yeah,
people
I
are
would-
still
well,
on the
yeah,
buying.
I would go back and
'Cause 20s
you could
were
literally
peaked.
look at the
And
exact
build a
time
machine.
this stuff
Yeah,
happened.
they have like algorithms
mining.
and software to go back and look at that.
So it would. I'd be worth like. I'd be like.
Dude,
I'd
we'd
be able
the
to.
richest people in the world.
I'd be able to buy and sell Jeff Bezos.
yeah,
Holy
be my
shit.
bitch.
Jeff,
140,
suck my
140
dick.
billion. That's cute, Jeff. I'm halfway to $1 trillion. Anyway, okay. Next hypothetical. We're going too long.
All right. So if you're offered a pill that makes you 50% more intelligent, but you lose all the hair on your body, would you do it?
Yep.
Done.
Your beard would be gone.
I like hats, bro. Fred, bro, hat gang. Fuck yeah.
My beard would be gone, but I'd be 50% smarter than I am now, which would put me like as smart as most people. And I'm excited about that.
Dude, I'd just be thrilled with what I could do with that. I'd go into so many different sciences.
Yeah, dude, I
love how things work.
I'm gonna bring it back to the stocks. I would just get really smart at like picking stocks and shit.
I wouldn't worry about that. I'd be, if I was smart enough, I wouldn't worry about money in that sense. I'd be going into like all the sciences behind everything that
Explore,
works.
man.
Like what Elon's doing with this Neuralink or plant science is just anything that's how the world works and creating new things, finding new species, just everything.
dude.
I don't know, knowledge. But
So it's like the pill's kind of like Neuralink.
Sure.
We'd all do it.
Yep.
yeah,
We'd be hairless.
no side effects
freaks.
except the hair.
Yeah, I'd be a hairless freak for
Hell yeah. No
You'd
more
be a
shaving
hairless.
your pubes.
Dude, no eyebrows. You just draw them on like all those bitches. God damn, they need some
Yeah, you
help.
could totally do that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's going to go ahead and do it for the podcast this week.
All right.
Sorry for 2 months. Hopefully, it'll just be like another week or two for the next one.
Yeah.
Probably not though, because we're going to fucking Brazil here and like.
That's it. That's it. Woody and I are going to Brazil soon. But shout out to the two guys that came up to us at Streetcar Takeover in Denver. That's pretty much the reason.
Oh, yeah.
You're pretty much the reason why we're doing this right now, because Woody was taken back the fact that people liked watching our podcast. He's like, we should do another one. It's like, yeah, Woody, we should.
Well,
been
we just
trying.
been so fucking busy.
It's summer.
Like we're home
get
2
it.
days a week, and I gotta edit and
I
do lunch.
Yeah, I get it.
I remember
Anyways.
how it is.
Anyway, we're gonna
Thanks for
hopefully
watching.
we're gonna hopefully do some more of these coming up. So
Like,
Love you guys.
subscribe, hit the bell,
comment, subscribe,
whatever.
like,
Share it.
Peace
Get,
out.
get more
peace,
subscribers.
peace,
Bye.
peace.